you align with my family and I align with yours. And I do want to take the chance to be exclusive with you.
With Joshua's decision, because if I've told him to go with Chambrielle, probably he wouldn't have listened to me. But I told him, follow your heart and let God direct you.
Certainly on this show, what I found was most of the guys didn't benefit from the purpose or the concept of the show. Somebody's son was meant to help someone find a connection with a female, someone of the opposite sex, and create a great bond whereby it could lead to marriage. But the problem with Joshua and Chad is they were very defiant and they were very rebellious, and they wanted to always go against what their mother said, and they always had a type and they were going to stick to their type. And it was obvious from sort of like episode 2, episode 3, who their number ones were. Whereas with Joshua's very vague. So I'm very happy that he's made a choice that not only he likes, but one that his family, because his brother seemed happy with Chambrielle, his aunt seemed happy with Chambrielle. So it makes sense that he would choose her and she will fit in seamlessly into the family. Whereas Tamaris didn't stand a chance. I'm so sorry. She seems like a lovely girl, but I don't think this was it for her. She will find a person, hopefully. Anyway, hey there. Thanks for stopping by. Welcome to my channel. It's Valerie. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. Click the like button. Turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos. And definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Somebody's Son, Season 1, Episode 11. I'm so sorry, I completely forgot that I forgot to sort of record the last episode, I would assume, of Somebody's Son. So here we are. Anyway, we catch up with Joshua and Auntie Omar, and she loves her nephew. She loves her nephew. That we cannot take away from her. So she's in a very good space. He's in a good space. And so they're talking about the fact that they're coming to the end of the experiment. And because they're coming to the end of the experiment, he will have to make a decision of whether he wants to sort of date one of the girls exclusively or just walk away. He did bring up the issue about Tamaris, coming in. Well, he spoke about the dates first. Let's not jump that. He enjoyed both dates. He came back with Chambrielle. He thought he was in a very good space. He seemed to have really enjoyed the date. His aunt also noted that he seemed to have enjoyed the date as well. And then he spoke about his date with Tamaris, where he taught her how to ride the bicycle, and he seemed to enjoy that. The aunt was actually touched that he had the mind to think of something that special to her. And then he brought up the fact that he hasn't kissed, it seems, Chambrielle outside of the experiment or outside of the photo shoot, and he brought up that Tamaris came the night before and joined him in bed. And the aunt jokingly said, "Oh, I hope I don't leave you with a grandson or a granddaughter." And he was just laughing. But I get where he's coming from, because after he's revealed that he's an NFL player, she is now comfortable coming to bed with him. And it's like, I don't know how that looks. I really don't know how that looks. I agree with Joshua that it looks a bit sussy. It looks a bit suspect, as in, are you coming to bed with me because you've heard that I'm a football player and so you know that I might be financially stable and this is why you're coming to sort of secure the bag? Or are you coming to sleep with me because you know that there's two of you and you want to get one over your colleague or your competitor? Which is it? I didn't think it was a good idea. I really didn't. I didn't like it when Chad did it, and I don't like it now. Especially for someone on TV, I wish she had sort of played it a bit cooler, because you're dealing with a Nigerian family, an African family. That might not be a good sight for them to think that on camera this is what you did. Family members might frown upon it, and it might affect your relationship, but that's just me. We catch up with Charlize and James. Well, he says he was on a date, but we didn't get to see the date, because he said he went on a date before that, and I don't remember seeing his date. We only got to see his date with Alicia, but apparently he had also been on a date with Sabrina. He said they went to, it seems like a butterfly park or something, and he really enjoyed it and he saw a different side of her. So he's then tasked with going on a date with Alicia. But before he goes on the date, his mum reveals that Alicia came with some notes to sort of a meeting to address her concerns with the mum, and he said she didn't like the way the mum looked at her, the things the mum said, blah, blah, blah. And personally, this is what I think. If this girl is after a relationship with James, this is not a good look. This is not a good look. Why would you have an MDT with his mother about your feelings? What exactly in particular? Apparently she brought up, you don't like the clothes that I wear, you don't like my tattoos, you don't like this, you don't like that. And the mother is actually surprised that, oh, I didn't know she had tattoos until she brought it up. And it's like, if you start on a bad note with your mother-in-law when you're on a TV show, what happens when you get into the real world? Because you can't make a good impression twice, because first impressions matter. And the fact that you're already sitting his mom down for an MDT, you're bringing notes, you're calling her out on every single thing that she offended you on, you might as well kiss the relationship goodbye. So the mom was saying to James, when you go for your date, make sure you speak to her about it. James is saying, I've been mediator to issues between my mom and my girlfriends before, so this is par for the cause. And it seemed he liked Alicia more, and his mom was more a Sabrina fan. So it's like, who is he going to go for? The date seemed cute until they brought up the issue with the mom. And, you have Alicia saying, I've fallen in love, or I'm developing feelings for a guy whose mom is very controlling. And it's like, girl, you've already sat her down and you've had these notes and things that you wanted her to correct. Now you're bad-mouthing her on TV. How long do you think you'll last in that relationship? How long? Chances are that relationship is going to end as soon as the cameras shout cut, unless you are not interested in this guy and you're just doing this just to be on TV. But I didn't like it. James came back. He had a conversation with his mom, and his mom was still adamant that you should be fighting my battle. You shouldn't be allowing her, or you shouldn't be letting things like this be said about me. I get where she's coming from, because she's got, friends, family, work colleagues, church colleagues that are going to see this, and what will they think about it, hearing somebody who doesn't really know her describe her in that way. We have Joshua and Auntie Omar in the car. They're on the way for him to make his final decision. Obviously, they're reflecting on the journey, the fact that he says it sounds like he was very materialistic, and he was more superficial in his prior sort of dating experiences, and coming into this experiment, it sort of taught him that there's more to a partner than what's on the surface. And so he is saying his way of looking at relationships is totally different. His way of looking at people that he gets into relationships has also changed. And his aunt is just saying, I want what's in your best interest. And it sounds like his aunt and him are very close. And so he's always going to do things that he thinks make his aunt happy. So I love that for him. You have James and his mum. They're also in a car there for him to make his decision. And his mum, you could tell, was not on board with the decision that he was going to make. Because James, since Alicia moved in, he has always been smitten by her. Especially when she showed him interest. So all the other girls that came in, they were playing second best. And it seems like with the guys, and James especially, with Joshua, it's a bit vague to know who was his number one. But with everybody else, you could tell who their number ones were. So you had, Miss Shelley sort of saying that, I hope he listens to me, because at the end of the day, I feel like I know what's best for him, and I don't think the person that he wants to choose is going to be the right person for him and for the family. So he meets up both with Sabrina and with Alicia. He first gives his decision to Sabrina. He tells her that, I think she thought it was a done deal, only for him to turn around and say, actually, I am not 100% sold, so I don't want to be in a committed relationship with you. She took it on board as it was delivered to her, said goodbye, and she kept it stepping. And then he met up with Alicia. She came, hold my hands, blah, blah, blah. Some of these girls seem like they were just there to be on TV, as a sort of a catapult to whatever opportunities they are looking for. Because the way she came in, she made it seem like she was really smitten. I have a feeling that she played this guy and pretended to like him. And then when she realized that he was serious about her, she decided to sort of bring up issues with his mom, knowing that he would always side with his mom. I don't think she expected him to turn around and say to her, can we be exclusive? So when he asked her, she was taken aback, and then she sort of said, oh no, I am, not there at the moment. I don't think I want a committed relationship, because what I want in a partner is totally different from what you want in a partner. Which was really sad for him. You could tell this was a blindside he didn't see coming. So he had to go to the car, and his mom was on pins and needles. You could tell she didn't like Alicia, especially after the allegations that Alicia made. Because when he told his mom that, she said no, his mom was like, okay, it is what it is. Let's keep it stepping. And it's like, I wish the girls would, if you're going to go on a dating show, go on a dating show because you're truly looking for love, not because you're looking for your 5 minutes of fame. I don't like that. But then at the same time, yeah, he's got boundaries that he needs to set with his mom. And hopefully being on the show has sort of opened his eyes. As a parent, you can only, I assume, impart what you feel should be best for a person. But you should not choose a partner because at the end of the day, you're not the one who's going to live with them. We get to see Joshua. It's now his turn to make a decision. Obviously, he's meeting up with Tamaris and he's meeting up with Chambrielle. I was a bit worried because I thought he was going to ask, the wrong person, in my opinion, to be his girlfriend. But anyway, so he met up with Tamaris, and Tamaris sadly, I think, lost him when she climbed into his bed, because initially he said she was his type, he was attracted to her, and so her climbing into his bed, I think, put him off, and this is why he decided that he didn't want to ask her to be his girlfriend, which is really sad given how far she went. And I think it shows that Joshua, although he had a type, because he actually said, I want to try and go against what I would normally go for, he decided to go against what his normal type is, which is what I always say when you enter social experiment. Don't go into an experiment saying, I want my type. Go into an experiment saying that, I want to learn, I want to grow, I want to change to see if I can be better. He then met with Chambrielle, and Chambrielle has come a long way. Because if we all remember, she's the girl who wore booty shorts on day one. And so to hear him ask her to be exclusive, she seems to be very hardworking. She seems to have her own money. And maybe this is why it was easier for him to accept that she's most likely not after him for his money. He said on paper, they look ideal. Yes, the spark was late to come by, but once it came, it was burning. They were cooking with gas. So he asks her to be exclusive. She agrees to be exclusive. His Aunt Omar is ecstatic. She's over the moon because she's always wanted her nephew to be happy. And I think looking at the girl, Chambrielle is the best option for him because Chambrielle seems to gel very well with his family. So it makes sense that he would choose her. And it seems like Joshua, unlike the other guys, actually paid attention to what his aunt was saying. The problem with Chad and with James is they were trying to rebel against their mothers. They didn't want to take on board what their mothers were saying. They were more focused on the physical attributes of the person instead of looking for qualities that they want in a lifelong partner. And the more their mothers spoke, the more rebelliant they became. And this is why they're in the position they were, whereby they asked people to be exclusive, and the people said no. I'm happy for Joshua. He deserves it. He really does. And I'm also happy for Chambrielle because she's come a long way from day one when she came with booty shorts to today. She's now, somebody's girlfriend. I can't wait to see. Hopefully they'll do a Where Are They Now? Anyway, thanks guys for following me on this journey of Somebody's Son. We'll see if there's a season 2. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And click the link in my video to watch my review from episode 10. Bye guys.